Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at these eco-worthy 48 volt 50 amp hour lithium ion phosphate batteries. Metal case, they seem quite heavy duty. We're going to open them up, take a look inside, see what we get. They come with a little data sheet on the side. That's kind of handy as time goes down the road a couple of years and you're not sure what you're supposed to be at. It's nice to have a reference right there instead of looking for the manual. So let's open them up, see what we have. Okay, first off, they're a metal case. It does feel quite robust for what it is. They came shipped in a large cardboard box. They come with these caps here, studs inside, and they came really quick. I live up here in Canada, and I ordered them right from EcoWorthy's website, the Canadian website, and here in a couple days, here a week, sorry. But yeah, they're $700 a piece right now, which for 50 amp hours at 48 volts, that's not terrible. For two of them at 100 amp hours, you're at $1,400. Now, if you wanted to compare that to a server rack battery, obviously you can't directly compare these to a lot of server rack batteries. Server rack battery is going to give you the added BMS communication, be it over CAN or whatever communication they're using. But that's going to give you the option to plug it directly into your inverter or whatever else you're using to monitor it, be it if you're using Victron, you'll be using the Servo GX or Schneider. They have their own proprietary link, but they usually talk to stuff like that too. This will not do any of that though. This BMS doesn't have any communication, be it Bluetooth or Ethernet, nothing. The BMS is just simply protecting from high voltage, low voltage, and current. Hopefully. We won't test that in this video. We won't be doing a capacity test at all. We're just going to open them up, see what we see, and later down the road when these are actually installed, we will do a capacity test and see if they are what they say they are. They're very similar to DC House. I mean, the cases look the same. I imagine all these companies sort of share the same manufacturer and slap their own stickers on the side. So if that's the case, I've seen other videos with the DC House ones, guys that could capacity tests on those, and they were what they said they were. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe all they do is buy the metal box and then put the stuff in themselves. So there we go. Nice thick protective top on it. I would assume that's going to be protecting if any of our individual cell wires were to rub the top of the case, because these are advertised to go in golf carts. I don't know. It's nice that you can open them. I don't know if they do that in design. Like, nothing was thread locked in. So now we should say though, we are inside a battery here, and anything before this BMS here isn't protected at all. So you drop a screwdriver in here or short any of these terminals out that you don't mean to, they're going to supply a lot of current and it can be dangerous. I know we're only dealing with 50 volts here, but it's the current in that 50 volts. If you accidentally bridge this and this out, you're going to be in a little bit of a world of hurt. You're going to destroy this, and you're going to basically blow up whatever you touch to it. And yeah, it's not going to be great. Anyway, everything is nice here in a channel. Looks like they're using that. All the wires are wrapped with like a felt wrapping, and then do they just come out as they're needed? Oh, that's a little early for that one. But other than that, no, that's nice, because like I said, these are they're just advertised to go in a golf cart, so everything's going to be moving. even a little bit more of this glue here that they're using to hold these wires together from one side to the other. It's the only reason they're using that. It'd be nice to maybe even have some in here. It's probably not a big deal. I mean, there isn't a lot of movement in there, but geez, that is passing through that. That's a little sharp. I don't know if this is actually grounded, if this case is grounded to the batteries themselves. I don't, like, unless this BMS is. This BMS is threaded into this metal plate here. Yeah, maybe it is. We're gonna grab a real old meter here. Just take a peek at that. So, obviously, touch that together, we're gonna get 0. So let's go ahead and see. From, say, this negative terminal here to this screw here. Now this is after the BMS. That is isolated. Okay, well, what about before the BMS? BMS main, well, it is activated because I did test the voltage on that. From this negative terminal to this, it is not grounded. So this case is ungrounded to the cells. Good, bad, that's each to their own, really. If this case was grounded, and if any one of these were to rub through, that's going to be a lot of power trying to pass through this wire, right? Now, with it ungrounded, if this touches, you might get strange. I mean, if you're in your golf cart and it's grounded and this case is metal, and if it's sitting in the metal golf cart frame and you have it strapped down and it becomes grounded to the frame, it don't matter, then this is all grounded anyway. But if you're going to put this in something like an RV or even your house, and say you got it sitting on a wooden rack, something homemade like that, I mean, in a house you're not worried about vibration, that's going to be fine. But if it's in an RV and you just got it sitting on the floor somewhere, likely it's going to be on an isolated floor. It's not going to be grounded. Driving on the road, one of these rubs through eventually. Not a big deal. You'll get, from ground to this, you'll get a weird voltage reading depending on which one of these rubs through. The problem will be is if another one rubs through. Once you get 2 of them, now you got a path. They're going to be going to each other, and that's going to give you a hole. You're going to have issues, for sure. I plan on putting these in an RV, so yeah, I might put a little silicone on all of that, just to hold it, stop it from moving a little bit. Yeah, I believe these guys have 3 years warranty, but geez, I just don't want to try and start a fire in my RV, pulling it down the road. So I'm going to add a little silicone onto all of these where they pass through. They could have done a better job at chamfering those edges. Yeah, that's just, they're sharp. They're not ridiculous sharp, but I mean, this side's nice. Like the tool must stamp it out this way, because this side here's a bit sharp. So that's something to keep in mind. And oh well, I got this here just to show you guys. I ordered these. I tested the voltage already, and they all came odd. Oh geez. All right, I was on AC. Let's try DC. I'm on amps. Oh my, this is hard to read up this way. Holy smokes, you know, I am an electrician by trade, I promise. You wouldn't believe it. Don't hire that guy, right? I'll get there. 52.8. So they both came at 52.8. Right there. That's not, yeah, you know, they didn't come dead. That's a bonus. So let's keep looking around. I don't know what this BMS is in here. I don't know the brand. Honestly, you gotta remove this handle, and I just don't see an easy way to do it. I like this extra coating on these wires though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's, at least they were thinking there. It would have been nice to see maybe something like this on all of these. But for the price, 700 Canadian, you're gonna get what you get, right? It's just nice that you don't open this up and there's not a blob of solder everywhere. Oh, I'm looking just terrible. But, yeah. Oh, that's good. Those are tight. For sure. Let's see how they make this connection here. Well, we know this isn't grounded in here. And if I were to touch this to anywhere in here, we should be fine, but we're still going to be very careful that we don't do that. So I'm just going to try and snap that off. Ooh, one's on there. Come on now. Whatever. Alright, 1.5. Come on. Well, you know what? You want to stay? Let's get you then. Let's try. There we go. That one come off pretty easy. So we're all welded on. Welds look a little rough. But I mean, that's nice for vibration purposes. But I mean, oh wait a minute. Well, that's not very nice. Huh? I don't like that. Well, I don't know if you can see, but it's actually quite a gap. There's a ridge down in there. That's got to be a good half a centimeter away from the cells. So you're gonna get room to move. Oh. They're advertising these to go in golf carts. Man, I don't know if I'd be too keen on putting that in a golf cart. I mean, it feels a little tight, like maybe it's sitting on a rubber or some sort of a pad. It doesn't feel like metal on metal. It's not slippery like that. That's a lot. I mean, we got 3-4 millimeters of movement in there. Even that there, like, if you look on this side here, how square these are. I mean, they're not super rigid, but, and we look on this other side, these are a little mess. These are actually quite bent out. You know, I'm gonna take this apart further, I believe, off camera. Maybe not a whole bunch, but enough that I wonder if I could put a butyl, a little bit of butyl, either silicone or a butyl pad, a thin butyl pad in this one and this one on all these four corners. Give it a little bit of dampening, so we just got a little bit of room for just to do its thing with the expansion, contraction of metals, and cells too, a little bit expand. But yeah, I sure would like to see it better than that. Like I said, I bought 2 of these, so we're gonna open up another one and see what it looks like too. So if it's looking like that, then I don't know. Great for stationary, but I don't know how bad I'd want to put that in something that's bouncing around. Let's check this. How tight is this guy? That's nice. That's good and tight. You know, but with the battery being this easy to open, it might have been nice to see bolted terminals. I know a lot of people complain about that. Oh, you know, it don't have a good connection, and it's going to be over time they can loosen and yada yada. But if you got something that's accessible like this, especially this easy, it almost would be nice to be able to open this up and service it. Like, you get a bad cell down the road, It would be nice to be able to open it, test it, measure it, you know, pull the one cell out, balance it with the rest of your pack, put a new one in. It's never going to be as good because it's obviously it's going to be out of balance to the rest, but you could limp along for 20, 30 bucks. You could get another cell, put it in there. This wire here too, it's number 8, so 50 amps, number 8. You're good. Draw 50 amps from it. I think they claim you can do 100 surge on this. I think might even claim 200. I'll have to look. 200 is ridiculous. You pull 200 amps out of this 50 amp cell, you're hurting them. They're not going to be happy. You know, maybe for a split second like that, be all right. Even 100, like you don't want to be doing 100 amps out of them. Ideally 25, 20, maybe even less. But no. We'll open up the other one and see if it's the same. I think you'd think these two, the whole purpose of this would be to hold them down too, but oh geez, those are, I bet, are supposed to be glued in place. Like these would be your, this is your little bit of paper here to isolate the cells from this bar. Holding it down. Huh. That is, now it's tight. The edges may be tight. You know, I'm going to be, the edges too. It is much tighter on the edges here than it is, almost like this metal bar is bowing. Huh. I'll be trying to, I don't know. Wiring's nice. I see they got a temperature sensor in here. Looks to be anyway. I'm not going to check it for low temp cutout. They don't claim to have it, so I have no expectations of it having that. We can hope that's a high temperature cutout. But yeah, I don't know. They seem good. I mean, for the price, if you were to build a 50 amp hours pack and just buy the cells yourself, after shipping and everything, you're going to be coming, I bet, pretty close with the BMS, the cells. And then if you wanted to build your own metal case, I mean, you buy these pass-throughs, the little bit of wire, the ends, and by the time you put it all together yourself, I bet you're going to be coming real close to this price. Obviously, if you're going to buy 280 cells or 300 cells, then you're winning. You're not going to be able to buy 6 of these for the same prices as 16 280s and a 200 amp, 150 amp BMS. It's not happening. But for the price, I mean, you get what you pay for, and you can't expect a whole bunch, I guess. So let's open up the other one quick and just see if this is maybe a one-off fluke. And I sure hope so. I better put this back on before I forget. Yeah, alright, let's open the other one up, give it a peek. Okay, we got the second one open. Same thing, cover in there. It's all the same. I don't know, you guys might not, you'll be able to know more of a difference than me, because it's going to be pretty much a straight ahead cut there on what the difference is. They look the same. A little bit more happy with the glue on this one, I think, than the other one. Let's take a peek. It's right down here. Yeah, it's all about the same. Give and take, hey? All looks good. I mean, wait a minute. Oh, they actually have an antioxidant on these terminals. Did the other one have that? Huh. It does. Can't really tell, but yeah, this one's brown and the other one's using a blue antioxidant. You would have thought they all would have been using the same thing. You never know how they make them. Okay, let's see. Is this guy tight? It is not. Oh, if anything, this one's looser. Oof. That one's not taking a lot of force to do. This glue is on the case and on these cells. So as you see, it's yanking on them pretty good. The only thing holding them in is this glue. Oh, that's not fantastic. I gotta be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, they all look the same. I mean, if you're gonna be placing this in a stationary location, fine. If you're gonna be putting it in something that's moving, you're gonna rub through that amount of movement and vibration, and these being able to jiggle back and forth like this. I don't think that's fantastic. I don't know. They don't move that way too much. Not like they do this. Like, I can even lift them. Like, this bar is doing nothing. Look at this. Not even close. It's almost like they have these glued together and they're not held tight. They're not hardly even in. They're hardly in there. This whole side is all one unit. Well, the cells are loose. I'll be trying to figure out how to hold those in better, for sure. I mean, for the price, you can't be too shocked. Like I said, you buy 2 of these, 100 amp hours, you're at $1,400 Canadian. If you go to get something like an SOK, I think they're right now $2,500. A non-heated server rack battery, that's a 100 amp hour. They have a better warranty, obviously. I haven't opened one up. I've installed them. But, we can't get EG4 up here in Canada. Well, we can. There's a couple suppliers right now. They're around $2,000 for, so an extra $600. Get yourself an EG4, I guess. But I mean, $600 is $600. That's another one of these. You could have one server rack battery, or you could get 3 of these and have 1.5. So it's up to you, I suppose. You don't have the communication to BMS, so you're going to want to be putting a shunt in to measure current more precisely. Put them in parallel. I don't think you can series these. I don't know why you'd want to. Alright, so it's a few hours later. What I ended up doing inside of these was, obviously I took some polyurethane caulking. I put it in here. It's very similar to this. I mean, I could have used hot glue. That would have worked just as well. I just have experience with using this polyurethane stuff. It stays relatively flexible, and I think it's going to hold it for a long time. I just went ahead and did that on everywhere the wire passed through, so I'll stop it from rubbing on the edge. And then I had some butyl tape laying around. So I ended up undoing these bolts here, holding these main bars down, and cutting strips of butyl tape like this. And then I ended up taking 2 of these. These aren't very thick, but it ended up taking 2 of these stacked on top of each other. And what I did was put it on the bottom side of each one of these. 2 here, 2 here, and same over here as well. And that ended up making these clamp down a lot. I also found that these, when these are undone, that these slots in these rails, these are actually slots here. So it gives you a little bit of room to actually, when you bolt them down, to compress the cells a tiny more this way. So I was able just to do that just a tad bit, not a lot, but I think with just tightening up a little bit like this, and then adding this butyl here, I can no longer lift these like I could before. They're in, and I can't move them side to side at all. So, you know, I think that's going to be the answer for putting these inside of something that's moving. And yeah, still haven't done a capacity test. That will be once everything's installed. All right, thank you. Bye.